Hello everybody. Welcome to ASMR Reality. Tonight, I have to start with this again. It was so popular, so many people commented about it. If you haven't seen it before, it's an electric lighter. It's not hot. It lights with electricity. So I think I'll make this maybe part of my introduction, is lighting candles. I'm sorry if I make another noise. I'll get used to this. One is lit. All three are now lit. But yes, this thing is it's really cool. I like it. This is the sound of electricity. It's really pretty to look at too. When I get close to the camera, you probably can't hear it as well. I made the mistake when I first got it and touched it because it's not hot to the touch. So I thought, I wonder if it's hot to touch these, and when that's electricity, and it shocked the hell out of me. It's like a stun gun. I mean, it's obviously a lot less powerful than a stun gun, but it's powerful enough to light things on fire. So if it's strong enough to start a fire, you know it's got some sap to it. It's weird because sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's blue. Yeah, it's so cool to look at. It's some. If I get it too close to this foam microphone cover, it would catch it on fire. I wouldn't want that. These probes come up, and that's what lights it. So, that's enough of that. I've got something else that I want to show you, but first, this is Universal Dust Cleaning Gel, and I use this when I detail my car. I need the candle because that's what I set my microphone up so I can be closer to the microphone for you, but let's look at this. So this stuff always retains its shape. So once you put it back in, this stuff is used to like, it's used for like cleaning like your car fence, like wherever dust, because it will take the shape. So like if I push it to the car fence, you can see how it comes through, and it sticks to the car fence. It takes the dust. You see the shape. So you just put it. It won't stick to anything. Like I could take the hair off of my microphone cover, but then you just rinse it, and everything rinses out of it. But you can use it for so many different times and applications. But yeah, it's really neat stuff. But it's not like a toy, it's actually for cleaning. I don't like clean my desk or anything with it because it's easy to dust my desk with just like spray or furniture polish and like a microfiber. But for getting in hard, like your cup holders in your car, if you push this down into your cup holder, it just, well, here's a good example. If you push it down into your cup holder and then just press it down in there, it will, when you pull it out, it will have all this stuff on it, and it just rinses right off. So it's weird how dust sticks to it, but then rinsing it takes everything right off. So if you haven't ever seen this stuff, it's very, very cool to use. It's great for cleaning cars, or like, I don't know if I had maybe like a lamp that had a lot of like intricate parts on it. Like I've got a lamp over there that I might use it on one day. But yeah, that's what it is. It's kind of cool stuff. But I thought I'd share that since I'm trying to find some things to show you, like that lighter. That lighter was so popular, but I don't really have like, obviously I've seen some ASMR videos with like all sorts of different stuff. I don't really have stuff. That's like the only thing that I have that might be like ASMR-ish for noise triggering. But for the rest of this video, I just thought I would do my normal whisper, because I didn't have a lot of stuff to show you. But yeah, I always like having these like industrial gloves, because whenever I do things like paint or anything that makes like your hands really dirty, those are just like super great, because it's kind of like having bare hands, because they're not like medical gloves that are thin, but they're thicker latex that allows you could do a lot of stuff without really tearing that latex, because it's so strong. And then really, like, I don't know, like, this is obviously made out of a chemical, but I don't really know what's in it, so I feel better just like not touching it with bare hands. So it does say keep away from kids and don't eat. Keep away from direct sunlight and keep in a dry place. So anyway, I keep it in a drawer. So that's enough of that. But yeah, so things in my life have been relatively calm. It's January. It's just the weather here has been really gray. And normally, like, in the wintertime, we'll have, 1 or 2 days of gray, and then the sun will come out for a day or two, then it'll be gray again, and winter's like that. But I think this is like day 6. I have not seen the sun. I mean, it's out, like daylight comes out. I know it's up there beyond the clouds somewhere, but it has been definitely a gray winter. This is like the longest stretch of gray I remember in a long time, and like, I just function so much better with sun. Like, every day I have to play with Pearl because she has to get her exercise and she loves to play fetch. So like, I go outside and I like just being in the sun. I feel energized by it. I do feel like the sun does give energy. And so I like to be out, and I know if I'm just outside, it's still sun out there, but it's not the same. So I'm still doing well, but I can tell you that I could not live somewhere that it's gray all the time. It would affect my well-being to the point, luckily, like, I know the sun's coming. Like Thursday, it's going to be sunny and like 50 degrees here, so I'm looking so much forward to it, and I know that I keep my spirits up because I know it's coming. But again, if I lived somewhere where like 20 out of 30 days a month it was gray, I wouldn't do it. Pearl is snoring extremely loud tonight. I'm sure you hear her in the background, but I just love her so much. I hope you enjoyed seeing her on my last video. I'm gonna go see if I can't get her to stop snoring. Sorry about that, but she moved. I moved her a little bit, and I think she's laying in a different, like, she doesn't, like, when I go to bed at night, like, she like lays right beside me, and she never snores. Maybe like once in a blue moon. I mean, I'm sure maybe once I go to sleep, but like, if I was trying to sleep and that was happening, I wouldn't be able to fall asleep. So, however, it's just sometimes she lays with, maybe her collar gets in a different location or something, but anyway, she's doing good now. So, but yeah, my work it's been a slower season. It's starting now to just now pick up, so I'm starting to get busier with work. But I'm still in that mindset that I would really like to do something different, but I also know that in order for me to do good at my job, I have to be committed. So I just recently did a 3-day seminar with Tony Robbins. It was 3 hours a day. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday this past week from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And I did all 3 days and just was kind of looking for inspiration, and I got a lot of good takeaways from it. Part of it is like giving is living, and I had been like having these thoughts of like doing something crazy, like buying a Lamborghini or something, not because I think it would make me happy, but part of it was because I felt like I don't know, just felt like doing something for myself, like a trophy item, like not even to drive it around. I would probably drive it less than 1,000 miles a year, but just to have it to look at. And it was just like a dumb thought. But that made that go away, just because I know like I could do so much better things with it, and I know it won't make me any happier. I mean, I think it would be fun, but I think it would be, it's like anytime I ever get something, like you've probably been through this, where like you got a new outfit and you've put it on and you felt like $1,000,000, but then after the 4th or 5th time you wore it, it's like it doesn't have the same effect. Things, it just wears off. Like one's happy, for sure. They do not. They do in the moment, but it is fleeting. It goes away. And I don't know, I've been watching like rescue videos where people like find these animals, like these dogs that were left on the side of the road, either injured or people do the cruelest things. And I don't even want to mention them because I don't want to put bad images in your head. But anyway, these are like videos that show they video finding the dog and then the rehabilitation and then finally how they end up. And it's just so rewarding to do that. And I do that now. I'm on the board of animal shelter, and we do a lot of good work. We take in strays and things, about almost 2,000 dogs and cats last year alone. But some can't be rehabilitated. But primarily the work I do for that shelter, I do as like I sit on the board and I go and I make decisions and stuff, but I don't spend a lot of time at the shelter working with the animals. And one of the things we're trying to do is like get a new facility, because the facility we have is like really, it's not good. We don't have like suites for the dogs. We have like cages, and it's just not a good setup for them. And there's so many really nice shelters that have really good facilities for the animals. And so that's kind of our next chapter, is trying to get that facility, either buying a current facility and renovating it to become a shelter, or building something from the ground up. And we have a donor that's willing to buy the land, or if we are buying an existing structure, to put a significant portion of the money down. And so I think that's what I'll do, is I'll take that money that I was going to splurge on something stupid, and I'll contribute that to be a bigger part of the financial contributor to that project. And I think that will make me feel a lot better, and it will do a lot more good for the world than spoiling myself with a toy that likely will bring me just a moment of pleasure and could get me killed. Plus, here, I don't know how it's like in other countries, but we pay license plates every year, and they would be unbelievably expensive for that car. And insurance as well. Even if I wasn't driving it, insurance would be expensive. So that's just another thought. It just continues to drain money. You have to buy it, and then you have to keep spending money on it. Just have it, just to own it costs you a lot of money every year, several thousands of dollars. I would probably spend $6,000 or $7,000 per year just to own it, just to insure it and put license plates on it every year. So that's not going to happen. But there was just so many good like testimonial stories, and it made me reflect on my past, of how I've been able to overcome so much. And I really would like to be able to help other people do the same and see the possibility, because I know what it's like to be poor and feel like, how am I ever going to get out of this? But you just keep going, you just keep pushing forward, and slowly but surely you do get out of the hole, And he told this story, Tony Robbins did, about he was like dead broke. He had like $23. He had taken all his coins, and he had went and turned his coins into cash, and he was gonna go get himself, there was a $5.99 buffet where it was like all you can eat, and he was like, I'm gonna try to eat enough food to last me 3 days in one setting, just get enough calories in him, though our bodies don't work that way. But this was the story he told. And that after that, he would try to figure out what he was going to do. So he literally had like $18 left to his name after he bought that meal. And there was a kid. He said this real pretty woman walked in the door, and like this kid, like 8 or 10 years old, like opened the door for her, then pulled the chair out for her before she sat down. And he just said it really was touching for him. And he said, so on his way out, he went over and he said something to the boy. He was like, hey, you are really a class act. And, you and your lady friend, referring to his mom, he knew it was his mom, but he was like, something about, I hope you enjoy the lunch you're going to buy for your lady friend here. And he's like, I'm not buying lunch. He said, yes, you are. And he laid the money down. He said it was every dollar he owned. He put it on the table and gave it to that kid. And he said he had a little bit more conversation with the kid, but then he walked out the door. And he said he felt so good, even though he was absolutely dead broke and he had no clue what he was going to do. But he said in that moment, he felt so good that seeing that kid, like, gave him so much hope for the future of mankind. And, like, he knew that somehow, some way, he was going to find a way. And he was literally just that broke, sleeping on a floor. And, like, he had had a little stretch where he was making okay money, and he had loaned one of his friends $1,000, and he was trying to get a hold of that friend, and that friend just basically stopped calling him back. And he said when he got back to his little room that he was renting, he had gotten mail, and he looked, and there was an envelope in there, and he didn't know what it was, but he opened it up, and it was $1,200 where that guy had reimbursed his $1,000 plus $200 for interest, and just wrote in that letter just like how grateful he was and how embarrassed he was that he didn't pay him back on time, and just told him about what he had been through and how his life was turning around. And Tony, most of you know who Tony Robbins is. I mean, now he's probably almost a billionaire if he's not a billionaire, but needless to say, money is not his problem today. So, and I think I mentioned this in the last video, but he's at 62, he had a kid. He has a 59-year-old daughter, or a 49-year-old daughter, and a 2.5-year-old daughter. And it's like, oh my God. I think the 49-year-old was the daughter he adopted. So, but to have 2 kids that far apart, but it's what he wanted. It wasn't an accident. He planned it. He planned to have this kid. So it's like fascinating to me. But it also inspired me to think that I will probably have a kid. So anyway, it also made me realize that with my gifts, my talents, the things that I'm really good at, that I probably should just keep doing what I'm doing, at least until something else really hits me. I really wanted to start a podcast with my brother. Drake actually helped me come up with a name for it. He called it The Humanistic. And in the name Humanistic, Manus, M-A-N-I-S, which is my last name, is in the word humanistic. H-U, Manus, Tick, Humanistic. So it's like a cool name, and I told my brother, I'm like, hey, we ought to do this, and it's something that we can finally work together. And my brother works construction, and he's getting older, and like, you just can't do that job forever. I always have related that job to like being a stripper. Is like eventually those girls make good money, but eventually they have to get off the stage. They get older and it doesn't work. Nobody goes to see grandmas. I mean, maybe they do. I've never seen one, but maybe there is somewhere. Old ladies, probably everybody has fetishes, but for the most part, you don't see that, and it's not common. And it's the same way in construction. Eventually those guys cannot keep doing back-breaking work. So my brother's just not in a place where he's ready. So I don't know, maybe I just keep doing what I'm doing for another year or so. I'm trying to get motivated to kind of hustle again and try to drum up some real estate business. So anyway, that's a quick snapshot of where I'm at in life, and I do hope all all of you are doing well, and I do appreciate all the support you've given me, and appreciate all you guys that have been with me for a long time. All my new subscribers, welcome, and I'm so grateful for you all to be here. And alright, that's it for tonight. So I will talk to you soon. I'll see you on the next one. Good night.